Hi, Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. So for today's video, what I wanted to do was I wanted to use the Come Home to Roost celebration set, which you can get free with a $50 order. It's got a lot of cute ideas in here, but I wanted to show you the masking technique. Okay, and don't forget, this is my January hosts code if you want to order online. Stampersdelight.com. Okay, so let's bring in a few things. So I didn't do a lot of samples with this card yet, or this stamp set, but I do really like this stamp set. It's just so cute. So this one that I did at my card buffet this weekend, we stamped across there the wheat, and then we had fussy cutted the rooster out and just put them on some glue dimensionals. And that right there is a cute effect right there. The other thing that you can do is the masking technique. So you're stamping right on here, and it looks like there's more than one, and they're actually in front of the wheat. So I'm going to show you real quick today how to do the masking technique. So the first thing you would do is you would take your rooster, and you're just going to stamp him in black on a piece of white cardstock to start. Okay, because you want to make a template. You stamp that down, and I don't really care whether this is real dark or anything, because I'm just going to cut this out. It's a template. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And remember to move your paper instead of the scissors. That was one of my tips and tricks a while back. It does kind of make it a little bit easier cutting around these little corners. I'm just going to cut this right off right here. Make it a little bit easier for me to trim off some more of this. I'm going to get in a few of those little nooks and crannies. And you have this. I also had one that you can see here. I just wanted to show you about cutting it out, but this is one I've used. Okay, so we're just going to put those aside for a second. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my white cardstock, which should be cut. And let me just grab a couple of pieces here. Okay, so this is a 1/4 sheet. And actually it's trimmed 4 by 5 1/4 because I wanted to layer it onto my blueberry bushel. But actually what I think I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, which is right here at the end of the table. I'm going to trim that down even more because I'm going to actually put a designer series paper in the back. So let's move this out of the way. First, I'm going to trim that white piece down. It was a 1/4 piece, but now I'm going to trim it down to 5. And maybe 3 3/4. Okay, I just want that a little bit smaller. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my first rooster, stamp him in black, get him over here real good. I'm going to stamp him here, okay? And then I'm going to stamp another one right here so that there's 2 of them. I'm just going to bring in a couple of markers, and I just think these colors go really well together. So what I used is the blueberry bushel. Just put a little color on his tail. You can color the roosters any color you want. This just happened to work for me for what I was doing. I'm just going to go in there, give them some color. You could use your blend, Stampin' Blends. They would work well too. But for right now, I'm just going to go in here and use the blueberry bushel. And again, some color here. You could use watercolor markers, watercolor pencils, whatever you want to color. Some more color in here. And I think you just heard my furnace kick on. Yes, it's cold. Okay. Then I used pumpkin pie. And I'm using the fatter end. I'm just going to color him in right there. Don't those colors look great together? The blueberry bushel and the pumpkin pie. Two of my favorite colors now. And instead of a real red for the rooster's head, I'm using the Poppy Parade. It's got just the right red, but not too bright. There we go. I have my two roosters now. So now I want to put, if you're looking at this, I want to put the wheat behind them, but I don't want it to go over each rooster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and out. I already have a little snail. You can also use a glue dot. Put that right on here and just lay that right over this one. And then this one would go right here. So let me just put just a tad bit of, I recommend really probably a glue dot would work better. I'm just going to put a little snail and then just put my finger over it so it's not real tacky, but just enough to hold it down. I'm going to just lay that down right there. Now I'm going to bring in my crumb cake. Stamp that. And I just re-inked this, so I want to stamp off one time just so I can see what color it is. It's very dark. It's very juicy. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp right across. I don't care if it doesn't get all over everything, you know, like some spaces, because you want it to give it that effect where they are in front of your wheat. So there you have my mask technique. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in that blueberry bushel. You see this one right here, but I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I cut this smaller. I'm just going to fold my cardstock in half. And I'm going to bring in some designer series paper. This is the 2017-2019 6x6 in colors, which are in the annual catalog. And here we have the blueberry bushels. And I can just decide which one I want to be a background. I think I want something a little bit brighter, so I don't want that one. I think I'm going more for this one. I want more white. So for this, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And this I am going to cut at 4 and 5 1/4. Back over here. So that's going to go right on here. And then this one will layer right on there. So you see the difference. It's got a nice little background to it. So let's go ahead and do that. And this, actually, I'll show you what it would have looked like if I did the stripes. But I kind of like those dots. Bring back the blueberry bushel. Put that right there. My designer series paper. Before I put that on to my card, I'm going to put thanks for your friendship, which also comes in this stamp set. Stamp set is great. Missing you. Thanks for your friendship. Just a note. Enjoy the simple moments. Cute little quick card you can make for any occasion. I like to have a lot of thank you cards on hand. Just going to put thanks for your friendship. Turn that over. Nail that right down here. And then on the inside, I'm going to put another piece of white cardstock. On a lot of thank you cards, I don't necessarily put in anything on the inside because I generally want to write my own note. But what I will do is I'll take my little rooster, And I should have done this before I put it down, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna stamp a little bit of the rooster right there, just to have a little image. And it's like, it's a sketched image, so even if it's not perfect, that's fine. So this is the little card, the little thank you card with the masking technique. And then I'm gonna bring in my envelope, and with that piece that I had left over, which is somewhere over here, where did I put it? Right there. Okay, I have this piece left from my 6x6 piece of cardstock. I can go ahead and make a little, if you wanted it bigger, you could use another piece, but I want to use all my designer series paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and snail this. Okay. I want to either bring it all the way up or just leave a strip right there. Again, remember, I could do the whole lip of this envelope if I wanted to use or cut into another piece of designer series paper, but I don't have to. I have this one piece left, which I may not use for anything else. So I'm just going to go ahead and decorate my envelope with that, just by cutting around that. Make sure it's on there good. Just trim it. You can actually just push those scissors if they're sharp enough right through this paper. It cuts real easy. And then I have a matching envelope to go with my thank you card. So I hope you liked my quick little video on masking and the Home to Roost set. If you need a catalog in order to get the celebration set, just contact me, stampersdelight.com, and I'll be back on YouTube and Facebook Live on Friday morning. I hope you'll tune in. Thank you for watching. Bye.